know as soon as it's on. So we are now live on Facebook. There you go. Hello, Karen. So
Hi,
lovely to have you here.
hi,
So
Sheena.
for everybody who's watching, of course, you all know me by now. I think so. It's I'm Sheena Cantar, and I'm a consultant with Bob Proctor. Now I have this wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lady who's on here now, who has been a client of mine for, when did we start, Karen?
So
April?
November,
Was it not April? I
not
thought it
last
was
year,
April.
the year before, no, 2019.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah, just
anyway,
over a year.
so we're literally, you have been my client since then, and it has been such an amazing way how we met. I'll just give you it briefly, people. It was just, I'd gone to an event that I wouldn't normally go to. I sat there wondering, why the heck am I here? I didn't realize that Karen was sitting beside me thinking the same thing. We went for lunch. We happened to have a chat. We ended up having a conversation, and Karen ended up being a client of mine. So that's obviously why I went to the event, was actually to meet Karen.
Yeah,
So welcome, Karen Hunter. I don't know if you want to just give a little bit of just background as to
yeah,
what brought you to saying yes to
yeah,
thinking results.
yeah. So that's quite easy. So I've always studied and been, wanted to know more. Always wondered about sort of like our psychology, and I've always been into that, like the conscious and the unconscious, and I knew that I was so passionate about something that was outside of my job, and I kept it very much to myself. So I always believed in something bigger. And I did yoga and meditation that got me like to this point where I was so in tune with myself, but there was some finer details that I didn't understand. And then I went to like this speaker event that just came up. I can't remember, through Instagram or something, like an advert.
Remember?
And I think me and my boss were talking about me sort of doing speaking like with my job, because my job is, my day job is in like UX, user experience. So that was sort of ignited that idea within me that I wanted to sort of put something out there about myself. And then I went to the speaker event, and as soon as I went into the room, and then I came out, for some reason I was just like, it just doesn't feel right, not ready to go in yet. And then I went out, and like in the morning, then I came back in, and I walked in, there's these ladies saying, oh, sit here in this chair. And I sat down, and it was in between two ladies, and one of them was you. And I sat down, and then we got into the presentation and everything. And then I was just like, I just knew that I was sat there for a reason. It was so bizarre, but I just knew. And then at lunchtime, I was sat on my own. Then you were with your friend, God, I forgot her name.
Lois.
Lewis, that's it. Hi, Lewis. And you started speaking to me, but it was like we already had connected in some way. To me, I knew, because there was a moment back there when we were sat together in the auditorium where I was like, I want to speak to this lady for some reason. It was in it like a knowing. And then you did speak to me, but all the time before this, I had been watching this series called Billions, or is it Billion or something like that? And in that is like and you might remember this, but there's like a performance coach, this woman, who's amazing. And every time I watched that show because of her. And I don't really watch shows, but I thought she was so amazing in it. And I was just like, oh my God, I love her. I need a performance coach. Little did I know that I wanted to sort of, that was something that I aspired to, because she did speaking and stuff anyway. I think we talked about that, and we talked about sort of beliefs and the sort of patterns that you have, and then we set up a call, didn't we? And the reason I went into TIR, I just knew the whole thing was just like, and you had like the meeting between us, and it was just like, it felt right to me, because I'd gone through life just sort of being pushed around by life, by people, situations and circumstances, and just something lit up in me, and I just had to follow that. And I got to the point in my life where I started to follow, like the bliss or the good feelings, and trust that. And that's the reason why I went to the speaker event. But when I signed up to TR, it was sort of a done deal, really. You tell me a little bit about it, and it was more like because you just knew it, and you were just very good. We had like this rapport and this connection.
I think it was
And
over.
I think it was.
What was the movie? What was the movie we watched? What was the movie? The kids' movie?
Oh, Frozen.
Frozen 2. Hadn't we both gone to see Frozen 2? And I actually used the analogy in Frozen 2 whenever we were talking.
Yeah. So many clues in Frozen 2 to, like, I know the secrets.
It's a new sales technique, Karen. Obviously, Frozen 2 was just obviously a new sales technique.
But I think like this was bigger than the both of us. That's what I think. I mean, that's what I know. This isn't just like a chance meeting. It's not just like something that a coincidence. Like, there aren't, like, this is something that I wanted, that you wanted, and we were brought together. And we can't understand that with our brain. And there's so much going on in my life that's amazing, and my brain's just trying to catch up.
Oh, you've had so amazing things. I mean, we'll get to the results shortly, because it's an amazing result. So what's been your journey? I mean, if you can put it into a few minutes for people to actually understand. I mean, you can't put, I know, a whole year, Karen, into a few minutes, but what are the main pieces that you found out about you, because things were holding you back? And I'll leave that up to you as to what it was your journey has been.
So it's explaining the unexplainable has just been it literally is the jigsaw pieces of life, of everything that's happened through my life has just come together, and I just get it. And that just sounds so profound, and the journey helps you understand these things. But I think, like, with the best thing that happened was, like I said earlier, like a pinball machine just being thrown around through people's life like that. It was a very emotional journey, because I couldn't stand up for myself. I was small, like this little Karen. I wanted to hide and shrink, and I wasn't very, I had this outer confidence because I loved life. I loved connecting to people. I wanted to do that, like, on a deep basis, because I was into profound things, like profound music, profound muses, movies, and I just loved that. I used to go to clubs, and I loved the connection, and the dancing and the elation between people, and it was that like sparks me. But this TIR, the journey, has really unleashed that, and not be afraid of it, because somebody's opinion might sort of, if I had an opinion than somebody else, I just think what they were right. Well, who am I to say that they're, everybody's got different opinions, but it was their energy was so much bigger, and I would just shrink. Somebody would say something about me which wasn't true, but I would just be like, well, I don't want the conflict. So the confidence that comes from it, the inner knowing, like, who you are, and it's just like not being afraid. Like, it was so, the fearlessness that you get from this. I mean, like I said before, you have life experiences, and I knew some parts about life. I knew things that felt good, but now with thinking into results, it really just hammers it home. You understand how it all works. You understand yourself. Like, you're not being thrown around by life and circumstances and people. You're actually standing tall in who you are, and that is priceless. You can't put money on that. And then you can, from that place, you fly. You're expressing that in the world, and the results come from that, because this is about creating. You're not creating the person. You are that person. You're just getting rid of all the crap that's stopping like the shine coming through. So those results, they're just natural events that come from that. It is like a bit like a Frozen, and I think that's why I identified with it.
I know, and this is where, like, so people coming into startup, a lot of the things they've said is procrastination, confidence, and how do you go forward? I mean, you just said there, it's just like, it's the confidence, because you only procrastinate because you're afraid of something. But if you're not afraid of it, then you've got the confidence to go forward.
Just do
And
it.
that's the thing that people are looking for mainly, isn't it?
Yeah, because when you're not afraid, you're like, it feels so right. It feels so natural. It's like you don't even think, you just go fast.
And it's all about the decision, isn't it? The decision.
Yeah, the decision is it's like in a 3-lane highway. You're just cruising, aren't you, in the middle lane? But you don't know how to maneuver into the fast lane. You can't, like, and you're afraid because you might do something wrong. But when you know, and that's what TIR teaches you, when you know how to maneuver into that fast lane, you've done it, and then you're off, and it's clear.
I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. Yeah. And so there's been like before, during, and tell everybody what you're actually doing now. Tell them.
So so I've signed up to be PGI consultant, like Sheena, following your footsteps, darling. So I signed up in January, so it's very exciting. And I'm just trying to train. Is that word? No, I am sort of following a series of, illuminated steps. That's what I call them, because, you move so many steps and then you're like, oh, what's next? And then you move some more steps, and that's, you can always see where you're going with this knowledge and understanding. So that's where I am at the moment. I'm transitioning from my day job, my previous career, into this. And it's like anything. If you want to get the goal, then you have to take the courage. You've got to be brave. You've got to do what feels right, and you have to trust. And God, if Jesus, I shouldn't say that, but if it's one thing, like fearlessness, then you understand being brave and courage, because that's all you need.
And one of the things that I know the TIR gives us is getting back to basics. I've been saying to people, when I've been playing polo and I want to gallop up and down the field, but I can't go in the fast lane yet because I haven't even learned the basics. Yeah. And so we're always trying to get in the fast lane. But when because as you've known yourself, as you grow, then you hit some chaos again. That's just what happens, because you're changing your vibration, but you've got something to come back to, and you go, get back to the basics. And then you'll look up and you'll have done your quantum leap again. You just go, oh my God, I did it again.
Yeah. And the best thing about this was the repetition, because you can't get that anywhere else. You're not gonna stick with it. And this is what the program teaches you. You're not gonna, if you want something, it teaches you everything, but you've got to keep going, and it helps you to keep going and stay on track, with your mentorship as well. And you're gonna wobble, but you're just you're reprogramming yourself, but for something that's so much better and bigger. And I've forgotten where I was going to go with it, but
it's all right. But one of the things I was going to say to you was, I said to you right at the beginning that you do not need another program after this, because before we're always on the search. What's the next book? Oh, the answer's in this book. The answer's in this program. And I said to you after 6 months, do you need another program?
No. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. And I've lost it again.
The correct answer is no.
No, you don't. That's what I mean. Like, you don't, because that was it. Sorry, everyone.
That's all right. This is live. That's okay. It is what it's.
You just learn it, and it is like, it's a bit like, okay, it's like dancing. You learn the steps, and you're going, oh, I'm not going to get this. Oh, I'm getting it. Oh, I'm getting it. And then you're like, professional dancer, I can do everything, and I'm doing it automatically, because you're learning. It's just like playing football. I can imagine, or some people are more natural, but you know, you keep putting steps in front of each other, and it's automatic, and you're just doing it, and you're surfing on life's waves. And that's the beauty about it. And yeah, you go back to the basics because you know you've got something else has happened. But yeah.
Bit of chaos going on behind me right now. So it's
Wrap
it up. Listen, Karen, thank you so much. Stay on. We'll have a quick chat after.
Okay.
But it's been so amazing. I am so excited for your journey because I know that you said, my goodness, you said to me about teaching and everything and what you say. I think everybody who's listening now, I think knows that Karen knows what to say. You're absolutely wonderful. All the words at the right words, everything came out just as you want to say it. And so it's absolutely been a privilege to have you as part of one of my clients. And it's a brilliant group, isn't it? I mean, that's the thing as well.
Yeah,
so
everybody's really supportive, and you know, you don't find people like this in everyday life. It's
a group for life, that's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, and it's been my honor to speak on here, and all I can say is that, you know, if it's not working, then you got to try something that we use.
You've got to be prepared to do the work, and if you're not prepared to do the work, then that's okay, don't do it.
Yeah.
Super. Right, everybody, we're gonna go, so we'll speak to you soon. See ya. Bye.